Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Bamirich, as you know, and first of all, actually, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone that's been supporting, everybody that's been reposting, everybody that's been sharing, liking, subscribing, as they say on the YouTube. And honestly, I'm overwhelmed by the support, and I really appreciate it. It kind of puts me at a position where I need to deliver for you guys, and I will. Don't worry about that. Also, big shout out to my cousin in Nigeria, Ini, who is helping me with some of the stats for today's preview. And on that note, today we're going to be previewing all the fixtures for game week 8 of all the Premier League fixtures for game week 8, and we're going to go through them in play order. By that I mean Saturday fixtures, then Sunday fixtures, and then I think there's a Monday night fixture this weekend. Yes, there is. So we'll go through that one last, and I'll be giving you my predictions and just stats like I said previously, and also some key talking points for each game. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first game we're going to be looking at is the Watford Liverpool game, and Watford actually have a new manager. So that is Claudio Ranieri, Mr. Dilly Ding Dilly Dong. Obviously, Premier League winner, amazing season with Leicester, amazing couple seasons with Leicester actually. And I think he's done quite well in the last few teams he's been playing for, managing in Italy. But regardless of the new manager bounce that Watford are going to get, Liverpool are just on different form. I watched the game they had with Man City last week, and they were looking pretty good. When I say pretty good, I mean pretty good for the title. And I hate saying this because I've got Liverpool fan friends, unfortunately, and they're gonna be getting a bit big for their boots. But when you've got a player like Mo Salah on your team, 6 goals, 3 assists in the last 7 games, or in the first 7 games of the season, you can't really, I can't begrudge them. He's probably one of the best players in the world, and he's on fire at the moment. So obviously Watford have their own players. Ismaila Sarr looking really good. But I just don't see Watford really doing much in this game. Obviously, we've also got this is the same for quite a lot of teams this week. Brazil are playing early hours Friday morning around like 1 a.m. or something. So a lot of the players that play for those countries, for Brazil and other like South American countries, may be affected and may not play this week. So for example, Alisson, I know, is going to be missing this game, and Fabinho. Klopp, I think, has already said they're probably not going to be playing this games. So yes, maybe that will give Watford a goal or something, because people like Trent are back. Trent should be back, and I just don't see Watford really beating Liverpool. Once again, anything can happen in football, and I think some of you may remember when 2 seasons ago, I think it was, Liverpool were unbeaten in 29 games, and Watford was the team to beat them 3-0. So anything is possible, but my prediction for this game has to be a Liverpool win, and I think I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. So yes, we're going to get that Watford goal because Alisson's not in goal. But I don't see Watford doing much more than that. So I'd say Mo Salah, a couple goals maybe, hopefully. I say hopefully because of Fantasy League, not because I care about Liverpool. If they could lose, that'd be great. But my prediction, 3-1 is what I'll go for that. Now on to the Villa Wolves game, which is it's on the list. When you look at the Premier League fixture list, it's next on the list on Saturday. And let's start with Wolves. Wolves have looked much better, let's put it that way, because I think at the start of the season they had 3 losses in a row where everybody was like, oh, they're looking really good, they're playing great, but they didn't really deliver on that early promise until recently. I think they've won the last 3 of the last 4 games, losing once to Brentford, who we'll talk about later in the video. And they're looking good. Hwang and Jimenez are looking excellent, in my opinion. I think they're looking much better than Traore, for example. At the start of the season, he was missing he couldn't hit a barn door, essentially. So I think Wolves are looking really good at the moment. Villa, on the other hand, also pretty good form. They're obviously playing at home this game, and they haven't lost in the last 5 home games. So this should be a really good game, I think. 2 high scoring or 2 attacking teams. Now that obviously Wolves has changed their manager, Nuno Espirito Santo was a bit boring. He still is boring. We'll get into that later on. But yeah, so Wolves are looking good. Villa looking good. Villa, very good team. And when I say team, I mean like they built a very good team now. They got rid of, well, not got rid of Grealish, but sold Grealish. Built a good team that probably will do better rather than relying on any star players. So yeah, on that note, I think, like I said, Wolves in good form, Villa in good form. I think I would say that my prediction for this game is a draw, a high scoring draw. So we'll go 2-2, and we'll see if I'm right. The big game of the weekend, the only one that we really, really care about, right, is the Leicester versus United game. Now, you can see the big boss, the gaffer, over my shoulder, and he's telling me that this is only going to be a United win. Let's break it down a little bit, and the reason why I say that. Now, obviously our players, United players, are returning from pretty good form on the international break. So Ronaldo got a hat-trick for Portugal. Bruno, I think, got 1 or 2 assists. I can't remember exactly how many. Sancho got 2 assists for England. So, the players are coming back on good form. And more importantly, probably more importantly for me anyway, because I'm a huge fan, Marcus Rashford is back, finally. And let me tell you, I think, actually, I'll save this for a little bit, actually. I'll go into that in a minute. But long story short, Marcus Rashford is back, right? So I think that is good, is a good omen for United. And I hope that means we're going to win the game. Also, another thing that encourages me is that Leicester themselves haven't been on very good form. I think they've only won 2 games this season. Obviously, Vardy is on really good form. I think he's scored 6 goals this season, which is the same as Mo Salah. So him and Mo Salah are joint top scorers in the Premier League at the moment. So, I mean, that should tell you something. Like, Vardy's doing well, but Leicester as a whole, I think they've missed Ndidi, who's still injured. So really and truly, United should win this game. Now, I know I'm talking big at the start, but I never believe, well, not never, actually. Lately, United have been worrying me, and I don't really know if we'll just blow any team away. We might just, when I tell you my prediction in a minute, you'll see, clearly this guy, he thinks he's confident, but I'm not all that confident in the United team, not going to lie. But yeah, we're looking good. We haven't lost, I think it's 29 games now away that we are unbeaten. So, let's make that 30. And one interesting fact, Bruno Fernandes has never lost an away game in the Premier League. So, as long as he starts, I think we're good. So yeah, so my prediction for the game, first of all, actually, because it's my team, let me chuck up the predicted lineup. And I'm also looking at it here. That's what I've got in front of me. And I'm predicting, obviously, typical normal back 5 that we tend to... Actually, no, tell a lie. It's not normal back 5, because I forgot to mention that Maguire, injured. Varane got injured on the international break as well. So both our centre-backs are injured. And also, oh my days, I can't believe it, we're going to be without Fred. Same reason I said before regarding the Brazilian game and the Uruguayan game, because actually Cavani's also missing, but that's not as much of an issue. So we're going to be without Fred. As you can tell, I'm not really that bothered about that. So hopefully this will be a chance for Ole to change the team up a little bit, because the United fans, myself included, have been complaining a little bit about our midfield. It's not been the best. So yes, my predicted lineup. Let's put it back up. De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka right back. Centre backs, we're gonna have to go with Bailly and Lindelof. And obviously left back Luke Shaw. Now my midfield, as you can see, is going to be Pogba and Matic in that midfield. Ole likes playing Pogba on the left, but I think with Rashford back, as you can see on my team, I think we need to go Pogba back in the midfield and Matic, because he's the only CDM that we actually have at the club. I think Ole could actually go for McTominay instead of Matic, because for some reason he doesn't like really playing Matic, but I've gone for Matic and Pogba. And then going up front, I've got Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, Bruno obviously down the middle, with Ronaldo up top, hopefully about to get another hat-trick. So that's my team. That's my predicted lineup for the United game. I'm not going to predict a Leicester team. I'm pretty sure, I hope they lose anyway, right? So, but anyway, prediction in terms of score is 2-1 for me. I think we'll just have... I don't ever really believe we're going to keep a clean sheet, even with Maguire and Varane. We don't have Maguire and Varane, so I'm hoping Bailly and Lindelof do the job. But I reckon we'll concede, probably Jamie Vardy get another goal. But I do think we'll have enough to win this game, hopefully. So let's swing right across to the other side of Manchester. Well, actually, we're playing away, so it's not the same. But anyway, let's swing over to Manchester. We're going to talk about the City... Who are they playing? Burnley. City-Burnley game. Why did I forget that? City Burnley game, and let's keep this one nice and brief. Burnley aren't going to win this game, are they? Let's be honest. City are looking really good this year. I think they had a little bit of a shaky start, but they're looking really good as always. Pep, amazing manager. KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, is probably the only player in that City team that I can, and maybe the goalkeeper, that I can usually guarantee is not going to get rotated. And he's back. I think he's back from injury, looking good. So I don't see him not starting KDB. So, and also they've got the same issue with internationals. Edison is not going to be there. Well, he might be, but I doubt it. So they've got the same issue as everybody else with the whole Brazil, South America and the contingent coming back too late from international break. Burnley, I'm sorry to tell you if there's any Burnley fans watching this. Sorry to say I don't really have. I'm pretty sure you don't really believe you're going to win this game either. But you never know. Sean Dyche might pull one out the bag. Chris Wood, bang a header. You never know. Anything could happen. But my prediction for this game is a nice and easy 3-0 win for City. Unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they lose 3-0 and United go top of the table or something, but I can't really say it with conviction. 3-0 City. That's what I'm saying. So on to the next. Norwich, Brighton. I'm sorry to say Norwich are dreadful. Oh, they have been dreadful. They've only just got their first point of the season last week in a 1-1 draw. So they're sitting at the bottom of the table with 1 point. Doesn't look good. It's not looking fun for them. I think the lowest Premier League points tally, I could be wrong here, I think is Derby with 11 or something. Maybe I think there was a 9. But anyway, long story short, I think Norwich could beat that record, unfortunately for them. So yeah, I'm looking at an easy win for Brighton here. Mopé has got 4 goals, I think, this season so far. And I guess one positive for Norwich to look at, Welbeck is injured. Man like Wolves, he's injured, so maybe that will give him a bit of a hope. Obviously, they've got Todd Cantwell, who's excellent. He's a pretty decent player. And Norwich have some good players, but long story short, I think it's an easy 2-0 win for Brighton for me. Brighton a good team, so I reckon they'll win that game nice and easy. And Norwich will stay rock bottom. Next game is Leeds Southampton, or Southampton Leeds. So Leeds are going to Southampton. It's an away game for Leeds, and I think the only really main talking point from this game is that Leeds once again will be without their Brazilian players, aka Rafinha, who is probably, maybe with Bamford, one of their better players, if not their best player, maybe Calvin Phillips as well. Now, those 3 players I've mentioned, Rafinha, Bamford, and Calvin Phillips, might be missing this game. Bielsa has already said, Bielsa, aka the Leeds manager, has already said that Rafinha will not be risked because of the potential fatigue between coming back from, I'm pretty sure the game was at 1 a.m. Friday, and as in the Brazil game, and coming into the Leeds game against Southampton. So, I'm hoping he starts because I'm a big fan of Rafinha, but I don't really see many managers risking their players and risking injury and long-term layoff. So I reckon I still think Leeds will win that game though, because although they've got Bamford out and Calvin Phillips I think is also out, they should have more than Southampton. Now Southampton are at home, but they haven't looked very good this season. They've also sold lots of players, Vestergaard to Leicester. They've just sold lots of important players. I think, who's their right back? Bertrand. So, they've lost quite a few players. And I think this week they're going to be without Ward-Prowse, so their captain. So I don't really see, at most I see a draw for Southampton here. But I'm going to predict, I probably should have predicted a draw now that I think about it, but I'm going to predict the 2-0 Leeds win. Because I just think Leeds will have too much. They're very high energy, and I don't really see Southampton winning this game. Don't even see them scoring. So here we are, the last game on Saturday. I'm not sure what time it actually is, unfortunately, but it's the last game on Saturday anyway, on that fixture list like I mentioned earlier. And that is Brentford versus Chelsea. And the reason I mention it like that is because Chelsea have actually not lost their last 6 away London derbies, and this is obviously the London derby, Brentford and Chelsea, kind of in the same area of London actually, towards the west. So it's a big derby, and I never really see Chelsea conceding goals. They didn't look that good last week against Southampton, but they still got the job done. Fair enough, there was a red card, but they still got the job done. And like I said, I watched Chelsea live this season when they faced Arsenal earlier in the season, and they looked pretty good. They just did not look like conceding. And so far this season, I think they've only conceded twice. I might be wrong on that, but they don't look like conceding. And so I don't really see them conceding in this game either. Now I wouldn't be surprised if they did because I'm a big fan of Brentford. You know, Brentford have come into the league and the typical cliche words, breath of fresh air, right? They're amazing. I loved the first game of the season when they beat Arsenal. I loved it. So let's hope they continue. I mean, I hope they beat Chelsea. I really do, because Chelsea are top of the league, and if they beat Chelsea, that's a big, that's a big scalp. That's a big game that Chelsea have lost, and hopefully, if United win our game, then we'll go climbing back up to the top of the league or near the top of the league. Brentford are 7th at the moment, so even them, I'm sure they want to get those points. And Buemo, Tony, looking amazing. Tony, I think if Arsenal could pick up Tony, I think they'll look really good. Obviously, they've got Aubameyang and all that, but I think Tony's a great striker. I think Mbuemo's looking excellent. But like I said, I still think Chelsea will have enough to win this game. I think it'll be a tight game. I think it'll probably be like a 1-0 to Chelsea. So that's what I'm going to go for. That's my prediction. 1-0 Chelsea, but I hope Brentford win 5-0. Probably not 5-0. Okay, 1-0 Brentford. But my prediction is a 1-0 Chelsea. So moving on to Sunday, we've got 2 games on Sunday. The first game being Everton versus West Ham. Now, to be fair, I should say this, right? Because I'm going to be wearing a few different kits this season, right? On some of these videos. Usually United kits, maybe definitely some international kits, as in you'll see which ones they are. But also, I might wear some kits that I just generally like. And the reason I say this now is because I like the West Ham kit, the all black one. It's very nice, very, very nice. But anyway, so West Ham, West Ham are looking very good at the moment. I say very good. They've been up and down a little bit in the last few games, but they've been very potent up front. Antonio was top scorer for a while, but I think now he's on 5 goals. So I think he's third behind Salah and Vardy. West Ham have the joint third for most shots on target, only behind I can't remember who. It's up on the screen. Only behind Liverpool and United. Oh, look at that. Maybe I did remember. I just wanted to chuck out United. And also Antonio, like I mentioned already, is he's looking really good, really good. He's only second behind Ronaldo. Another United drop for shots per 90 minutes. So West Ham are looking really good attacking wise. But also Everton, obviously they faced United last game. I've talked about United more than these 2 teams in this preview. And they looked really good last game. Townsend with his fake Sue that he did. Decore looking really good. Gray looking really, revitalized. Benitez, top manager. So, for this game, I'd probably go for a 1-1 draw. That's probably a cop-out because I just can't see. I can't see who wins this game. I think it'll be a draw. Because Everton are good, West Ham are good, and they're both looking relatively decent. If anyone is going to win it, it probably will be Everton, to be fair, because they're at home advantage and all of that. But that's where I'd go with this. 1-1 draw. And on to the second Sunday game, which is Newcastle, billionaire Newcastle, super rich Newcastle versus Spurs. Like I kind of touched on just now, billionaire Newcastle. They got new owners. And they are filthy rich, I think I saw a graphic that showed their new owners are like $200 billion, and then the next richest is the City owners, and they're on like 20 billion or something along those lines. So it's a huge difference in terms of wealth. And as you can see, with what City have done with their wealth, they've basically gone to the top of the tree. And PSG, all these like rich clubs, they've done all right with their rich owners. So I think in the next few years, we'll be looking at Newcastle as one of the top teams in the Premier League and maybe even in the Champions League. So yeah, I reckon it will be a very interesting game for Spurs to deal with because the Newcastle fans are going to be on they're going to be on cloud 9. They're going to be so loving it, so buzzing, as they say. So I see it being a very, very, very hard fixture hard occasion, I guess, for Spurs because obviously they're away. However, Spurs really should be winning these games, but I just don't see them doing anything. They look so poor. They look boring. Kane ain't doing anything. Son, one of my favourite players, is a bit impotent in this system that they've got going at the moment with Nuno Espirito Santo. So I just don't see them doing much in this game. I see them actually losing this game. Only because the only reason I'm predicting a loss is because of the whole occasion around the Newcastle team, everything like that. Obviously, Steve Bruce it's probably on his last legs. This is going to be his 1000th game in management. And I'm glad they gave it to him, because as soon as the new owners came in during the international break, everyone thought that Bruce would be gone straight away. So I'm actually glad they've given him his 1000th game, ex-United player and all that stuff. But I don't really see, it could be his last. And I don't see him lasting, I don't see him lasting much more than that. But I hope he'll sign off with a nice little 1-0 win. Yes, that's my prediction. I'm predicting Newcastle will win 1-0. Let's say a St. Maximum goal, because he's a good player. And the final game we're looking at this weekend is it's not even on the weekend, is it? It's the Monday night football game. Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Vieira comes back to his hometown, or his home club, if you want to call it, where he made himself a legend, with Crystal Palace as manager of Crystal Palace. And Arsenal looking good. Begrudgingly, I can't believe I'm saying this. Arsenal looking pretty good. They've been better. They lost obviously the first 3 games of the season, but they're looking pretty good now. They Ramsdale surprisingly has come in and done really well at the back between the sticks. Who else? Ben White is looking really good as well, surprisingly, because we all gave him stick because they paid 50 million for him, whatever it was. But yeah, I think they're looking pretty good. I think they've got the opportunity now, because they kept a clean sheet last game. They've got the opportunity now to keep a clean sheet, second clean sheet in a row, which might not seem like such a big stat to mention, but I mention it because last season I had Leno in. Well, there's this rule that me and my friends have, right, when it comes to fantasy Premier League, right? Don't never bring in a Arsenal defender, never bring in the Arsenal goalkeeper, right? Unless you're one of my friends who believes Arsenal are going to win every game like 10-0, like myself, but he's me for Arsenal, right? And so last season I had Leno in my team, and literally for about 8 games I had him, didn't keep a clean sheet once. That's why you never bring in an Arsenal defender. But they could be about to go 2 games in a row, but keeping a clean sheet at Crystal Palace. I'm actually predicting, I can't believe I'm doing that, I'm actually predicting that they will. I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Arsenal. It's surprising because I do think Zaha and if Crystal Palace are play as to the potential that they can, Zaha could get a goal in this game, and he could do quite well. And Arsenal could lose this game, right? But I'm going to predict them to carry on their good form and win 2-0. So there you go. Those are my predictions. I haven't been too wild with. I don't think I've been too wild with the predictions. But let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Who you think is going to win what games. What your predictions are. If you're, I hate talking about you Arsenal fans, but Mr. Arsenal fan, you know who you are. I'm looking at you right now. Looking at you. Don't go in the comments predicting 10-0 Arsenal, right? But yeah, so those are my predictions. Leave yours in the comments and let me know what you think. Like I said, also I'll go back a little bit. My sisters told me that apparently I've said it in the wrong order. So let me just refix it for you guys, right? Apparently it's like, comment, and subscribe. But then where's the share? So I'm just going to add share at the end, right? So just please share the video and like the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel. Also, just a quick one. I'm going to be chucking out a quick, very short FPL Fantasy Premier League video shortly on the channel as well. Pre-game week deadline, so that you can have enough time to use any of the tips I may give on that video to benefit your own team as well. See you in the next one.